Welcome to SolarTrak's how-to video on the asset detail screen. Just a quick note before we move there. When you open SolarTrak, you open to the map view, and the map view is determined by where your current assets are located. So I have two assets. One is up here and one is down here. So the map opened just big enough to show both assets. By the way, to move around in here, the best and fastest way to do it is using your scroll bar. But you can also click and hold and you'll get a little hand and you can move the map around that way too. So back to our asset detail. Quickest way to get there is to click on the list view, choose the asset from here and double click. However, you can also, from the map view, simply double click on the icon for your asset. So here's our Bobcat T190, and right under the name of the equipment is the current location of the piece of equipment. Under that are the coordinates for the longitude and latitude. Now, if you have parked your equipment in the middle of a field and it's not near a street address, you can always use these two numbers and plug them into your own personal GPS and go right to the sign. In the upper right-hand corner is an edit button in case you want to edit the information for this one if anything's changed. Now, here is where you're going to lock your asset into one of the geofences you created. I have this one already locked into a large geofence I created for the state of PA. I can unlock it here also. Notice it responds by saying that it's unlocked. I'm going to keep it locked here, but I'm thinking about moving this skid steer to the California location so I can choose to lock it also in any other geofence that I've created. This drop-down list will continue to open if you want to lock it in multiple locations. The thing to remember about geofences is three things must happen. You first need to create it and name it. You second need to lock an asset into it. And the third thing is you have to have said during notifications that you want to be alerted that your equipment moves in or out of a geofence. So those three things have to be in place for geofences to take effect. All right, let's look at the center. This is a quick snapshot of the most pertinent information about this asset. I have the voltage, the engine hours, and the last time the asset contacted SolarTrak. In the upper right-hand corner are any maintenance items that you would like to be alerted about that you entered back in the Create Model section. For instance, here I asked to be notified about oil changes, and the oil change was performed August 4th. I have 197 engine hours to go before it's done again. Now let's move down to the tab section. In the tab section on the pale blue bars, you're going to see your asset's current location. Under that is a map. You can zoom in and out, or you can choose satellite view, street view. You can also view any geofences that might be around this area. The pink bars indicate movements. So if you'd like to take a look back and see exactly when and where your item moved, it tells you the start and stop times, and it shows you the path. It also shows you the speed that it was traveling in. You can also go down to the bottom and choose how many weeks of history you'd like to show on this screen. I have 1 week chosen, and this asset's been moving around a lot. You can opt for up to 12 weeks. Now let's look at voltage history. When you entered the manufacturer and the model name for this asset, SolarTrak software automatically calculated the correct range appropriate for that model. So the voltage is shown at the left on the y-axis. By the way, 00.00 is midnight, and the time and date are shown on the x-axis. And last, let's look at the engine hours calendar. This is my favorite section because of the great information you get here. So here you can see exactly when your asset was being operated. It's a monthly view with the dates across the top. You can move among the dates by using these gray buttons to check prior or next months. The cool thing is it tells you when it was turned on, when it was turned off, and it totals it for the day. It also totals across for the weekly total. So you get a really good indication of when your asset's being used. At the end of the month, if you're billing cycle is monthly, the total number of hours will show in the farthest bottom right-hand corner. By the way, when your month begins at the end of the week, as it does here, you'll still be able to view the times it was turned on and off for the previous days and totaled for that week. So that's it for this lesson. This is where you'll spend a lot of your time evaluating how your equipment is being used. If you have any questions at all, please contact SolarTrak. Here's our support number.